Hi and welcome to another edition of ChinnyVision. This time we're looking at Fast Food Dizzy. In the mid to late 80s, Codemasters were churning out games at quite a rate, and we're speaking to a roadside chain of restaurants in the UK about the possibility of producing a computer game that was sponsored by them. That chain was Happy Eater, the now defunct chain of roadside restaurants, and the game became Fast Food Dizzy when the Happy Eater dropped out. Game was apparently programmed in about 2 to 3 days by the Oliver twins, and then a couple of weeks to get all the graphics and everything else running. It's basically a Pac-Man clone, and today we're looking at the Amstrad CPC versions and the Commodore Amiga, starting off on the CPC. Fast Food is essentially a Pac-Man game, but with a difference. What you've got to do is chase around after these little bits of food to collect. And here on level 1 there aren't any baddies at the moment on the screen for us to worry about, so all we've got to do is collect all the things on the screen. When you hit left, right, up or down, Dizzy keeps on walking until he hits something to stop, which is something worth taking into account when you're playing the game, because Dizzy will continue without unless you input another direction. That's a bonus that's appeared on the screen there, that eye thing. We don't need to collect that. We just need to go and get that other chicken. I think that makes us invulnerable, that bonus there. And we completed that level. On this level, there's a little green baddie there wandering around that we have to avoid. As you go through the game, more and more baddies appear, and the faster they become. The game dishes out extra lives like sweeties. It's fairly straightforward to kind of score enough to get one, or they get these nice animations every time you get an extra life. So here we are on level 4. There's only one baddie wandering around at the moment. Another one will probably appear shortly. So you get further into the game, level 8, this is where it begins to become a little bit more challenging. We've got 3 baddies of differing abilities wandering around here on level 8. We've got to try and avoid them whilst collecting all the food. It's quite a nice game, really. It's very simplistic, but fairly well implemented, so you don't really notice the gameplay is so basic. It's probably not a game we're going to keep on coming back to. It's not although it's a sort of Pac-Man clone, it doesn't have that replayability that Pac-Man has. That in Pac-Man you want to keep on getting better scores. On this game it starts to get a little bit dull and repetitive, really, and some of the level layouts start to repeat as well. Nice bit of humour here on the extra life screen. Giant Dizzy going across. You can't really complain about this game, really. It costs $1.99. Nice level of presentation. It's very playable. It's nowhere near as good as the later game Quick Snacks. And they've just got a bonus there that speeds Dizzy up. It's nowhere near as playable as Quick Snacks, as I was saying. But, you know, that's a game produced many years later. Overall, Fast Food Dizzy on the Amstrad CPC is a pretty good game, especially when you consider it costs $1.99, and compared to many other $1.99 games, although it is a little bit basic, it's a solid game. There's quite a bit of enjoyment to be got there. So we move on to the Amiga. I think this version came out a few years after the Amstrad version. And we've got a reworked version of what you've got on the Amstrad version here, with some introductions of what the characters do. So instead of selecting what level you want to start on here, you can go easy, medium, hard, or question mark. We'll start off on easy here. Much more detailed graphics here. Still a little bit basic by Amiga standards. What I have noticed, this may be a glitch on my Amiga, I'm not sure. I seem to get this random speeding up and slowing down of Dizzy, where I don't think I've collected any bonuses to do that. So that's a little bit weird. So level 1's very simple there. Level 2, a little bit more difficult. Different screen layouts to the Amstrad version. They've taken the concept, but they've reworked all these levels to have different layouts. What I had to say about the gameplay on the Amstrad version applies to the Amiga version. It plays exactly the same way, although, as I say, the level layouts are a little bit different. The thing is, on the Amiga, this game would have cost a little bit more, although I think it came out originally as part of a Dizzy compilation. I'm not quite sure there. A game that you're happy to pay $1.99 for on an 8-bit, you're not necessarily happy to play $7.99 potentially, or part of a quarter of a £25 compilation for on the Amiga. So I don't really rate this game as highly as the Amstrad version. It is good, don't get me wrong. If you download it and play it, it's fine. But back in the day, if you were spending money on this, then there were many other better Amiga games that were quite similar. And indeed, you know, with hindsight, you can say go and play Quick Snacks, because that's a really fantastic game on the Amiga. Some of these level layouts, and I know this kind of happened because it wasn't out, remind me of some of the level layouts in some of the Bomberman games. Now, I know those later games with this kind of split layout like this weren't out yet, but so yeah, there's no question of Codemasters having borrowed that. But it does remind you of that, and that's a good thing. Fast Food Dizzy on the Amstrad is a game to check out. It plays well. It's not as good as Quick Snacks, and that's true of the Amiga version as well. But for $1.99 at the time, it's certainly one of the better Codemaster games. On the Amiga, yeah, just go and play Quick Snacks. There's no question about it, or any other kind of similar game, because it's not really up there with the kind of quality that you expect. On the Amiga, it's not bad, but Fast Food Dizzy really has nothing to stand out on the Amiga platform.